Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the series. We're doing the E46 M3 today. Kind of makes sense because we did the E36 M3 last video. So make this one a little shorter, a little quicker. Not gonna, talk as much about the cars individually. More so what the market looks like. We're gonna get there right now. So we're gonna start with the rare Laguna Seca Blue E46 M3. This one is listed for 70 grand on Craigslist. 32,000 miles, super low. 70 grand. It is what it is. You guys see it. Like, this is not a 2018 competition package, 3,200 mile car. Like this, I don't know. Even at that, 70 grand is expensive. But 70 grand for a Laguna Seca Blue E46 M3. Looks like it has some rock chips. The interior is tan. The A-pillars are messed up. Tan dash. You like to see the Michelin's on there. Rock chips. More rock chips. Hopefully someone gets this thing and they PPE the thing. The CSL trunk is cool. I don't know. This is just like the most wow of them all. This is Craigslist. This is not Bring a Trailer. It's cool. I don't really have much to say about it, but 70 grand is like mind blowing to see. Like even listed. Like it's crazy. So that's the most expensive one I have here today. Let's bring up this one. 40 grand. Salvage title. 100,000 miles. This one looks like it's pretty beat up. The front bumper is pretty thrashed. I mean, they didn't even clean it, to be honest. And this thing's salvage title. I mean, interior doesn't look terrible. It's black. The engine bay looks atrocious. I mean, you're asking 40 grand for an E46 with 100,000 miles, and it's salvage title. Like, what is the... Like, who in their right mind sees this and is like, man, like, one day I want to spend 40 grand on a salvage title E46 with 100,000 miles. I mean, this car is probably worth, in today's market, like 13 grand, maybe, in today's market. Like a fair selling price for a 100,000 mile coupe manual. I mean, it's salvage title. It's got 100,000 miles. It's beat up. It's black. Which, keeping a black car clean is like next to impossible. Like, you can see it in the photos. It's definitely not one of the desirable colors. Silver, black, they're both super common. So, there it is. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go to this one. So this is, I think, the cheapest one I could find, or one of the cheaper ones that I could find. 162,000 miles. It's got some nice wheels on it. It's silver. The interior is pretty thrashed down here. I mean, it's got 160,000 miles. It's M3. It's cool. If you've driven one of these cars, if you haven't, they're great to drive. But I mean, it's not a 24 grand for 160,000 miles. I mean, the other one was salvaged for 40, and the other one was 70. But just had the subframes reinforced, which is cool to see. Looks like he has some maintenance. Blah blah blah. Doesn't leak. Smells except occasional burnt rubber. Seems like he got hurt. That sucks. Looks like it's cute, but dude's maybe a nice car. It's sexy. I mean, cool. It's got coilovers. It's got the racing dynamic wheels. Harman Kardon, which is an upgrade. Factory upgrade. But does he have receipts? Even 24 grand for this car. I sold a 6-speed E46 M3 convertible with 110K on it for 10 grand in the beginning of the year of 2021. And even 10 grand, I was like, that's ridiculous. But cinnamon, nice interior, pretty clean exterior. Not the paint wasn't the best, but like the body was fine. But 10 grand for a low mileage E46 M3 convertible is crazy. So here we have a higher mileage 200,000 mile E46 M3 in the goodness sake of blue. Says he needs it gone. Says it's a project. Very little receipts. 200,000 miles, 25 grand. Like, I mean, you hate to see when they gum up the interior like that. Whatever this is, if it's hydro dripped or whatever, it is what it is. But there's that. Here's our last M3 for the video. 115K, 23 grand. I mean, I don't think his price point's that far off. I mean, in today's market at least. Looks to be fairly clean. It's carbon black, so it kind of looks blue in the sunlight. But like, this is looks like an adult maintained car. Pictures are taken, you know, they're not perfect pictures, but doesn't look like there's an insanely amount of swirls, and the car had been kind of detailed. You can see some swirling and stuff, which is fine, but at least this one looks like it's been washed, and you know, the carpets have been cleaned and whatnot, and the seats, and it doesn't look dirty, which is expected for a car listed for $20,000. That's 20 years old and has 115,000 miles on it. So this is where it kind of gets even more comical. People are listing their non-M E46's ZHP package. It's super cool, super awesome, whatever, you know. It's got a different front bumper, different rear bumper, which my favorite part about the E46 alone, I think in general, is the ZHP rear bumper. It's pretty nice. I like it better than the M3 rear. But it's automatic, 225,000 miles, 228, like 15 grand. This car 4 years ago, 3 years ago, you'd see him listed for 4 grand, if not $4,500. With this mileage, 3, even less automatic. Like if this is a 6-speed car, 200,000 miles with the ZHP 6-speed in it, I would say have it listed for $6,500 in today's market and see if you can get 6 grand for it with this mileage. And I mean, the car is going to be destroyed in person, like 225,000 miles, unless it's some guy who bought it brand new and did everything to it and has always, you know, maintained it. And even at that, it's mind blowing to see an E46 non-M3 listed for 15K with that high mileage. And then the last car we're going to look at real quick is this 330 Ci. I like the 2 doors. Most people do like the coupes. 90,000 miles is cool to see. It's got lower mileage. It's a 330 Ci, so you know you get the sports seats and all that stuff. Looks pretty stock besides the wheels. Yeah, it looks like it says E46 M3 steering wheel, which is cool. Easy to get your hands on. Pedals. But again, 15 grand for a non-M chassis E46. I mean, these motors are at junkyards, these transmissions are at junkyards, these cars are at junkyards. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm trying not to laugh in this video because I own a couple E46s, but it's just like the most I've ever paid for an E46 was $8,500. And like I don't understand how someone swallows a pill to buy an M3 for in the 40s, 50s, 30s, 20s, unless it's like a supercharged, built motor, crazy done up, lower mileage E46 M3. I don't see a E46 fetching 20 grand. I mean, they're selling for that supposedly, but for what? This series is just going to be like, why are people listing these vehicles for this much money? Are they actually selling? Which I'm not sure. We'll go over in another video later on, like what vehicles you can buy that are good value. I mean, there are so many E46s in general. You drive down any street, any road, any neighborhood, you're going to see an E46, whether it's an M or not. The Craigslist market is flooded with these things. The Facebook marketplace is flooded. These are not in high demand. I mean, a lower mileage, high valued color, you know, a rare color, low mileage is desirable, but there are all these different options for people to pick from with these cars. It's not like they're hard to come by. They're everywhere. You see 10 get listed on Facebook Marketplace a day, if not even more, and it's not a low produced car. Every junkyard has, I would say, 3 to 5 of these E46 chassis cars, So it's just like so mass produced. It's a great car. Not gonna deny that, but we're just talking about price here and the ridiculous things we're seeing today in the market, and I think that's kind of summing up this video. How it's a very high demand car, or very, I wouldn't say high demand car, but it's high demand car. But there's so many out there. There's so many people listing these things. I just am blown away on these prices. Like 70 grand, you can buy an R35 GTR with the same mileage. You can buy so many, and even an R35 GTR. I mean, I don't even think that's the best bang for your buck, but you can buy an F80 M3 for this money. You can buy cars for a quarter of the price and get so much better of a car with the same mileage. Like, it's kind of crazy to me to see these crazy prices. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to be making more videos. So if you guys want to hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to try to get a video out every single day. I will do that now. So you guys have a good one. Peace.